Module 3, The Searcher, is where we get super deep. We're talking about all the feels, all the emotions, all the feelings you feel. And what's incredible about emotions is you actually feel them. Like you can feel disappointment, or you can feel grief, or you can feel happiness, or you can feel shame. It's like you feel it in the pit of your stomach or in your throat, or there's it's an actual feeling you feel, and we have kind of a hard time sometimes putting a label to it. But this is so important that we're able to put a name, a one word label to our emotions, because we need to know what that emotion is. We need to know, is it anger? Is it shame? Is it embarrassment? Is it, loneliness? Is it hopelessness? Is it joy? Is it peace? Is it freedom? Like there are so many emotions that are possible, but when we don't take the time to put a word to it, to put a label to it, then we can't kind of navigate backwards. So, we talked about our life circumstances and how we all have unique life circumstances, and they're the facts of our life. That was module 1. And then we talked about in module 2 our minds and our thoughts, and our thoughts are a language of our mind. They're what we put meaning, how we put meaning to our life circumstances. So obviously your thoughts are going to be much different than anybody else's thoughts. They're going to be unique to you. They're internal to you, right? Because your mind thinks what your mind thinks, and we don't necessarily share all of that. And thank goodness our brain doesn't publicly display that for the world, because our thoughts can sometimes be pretty nasty and pretty ugly, and that's okay. There's no judgment there. Everybody has thoughts that they're not necessarily very proud of, including myself. And one thought, just so you know, is I used to think for a really long time that I was like a monster of a mom, between yelling and having a quick temper, or just not wanting to be on all the time in mom world. I would just call myself a monster. And so this was a lie, a thought that I believed for a really long time. And the emotion I would feel would be like shame. My stomach would feel in knots that I had to continue to do, motherhood every day. And so there's a feeling to it. There's this shame, or, maybe you want to blame if you're not at a point of, putting the responsibility on yourself. You want to blame others for your life circumstances or your thoughts around your life circumstances. And this is just so unhealthy. So, we've got this concept of the 50-50 life, which I talk about in module 3 about, life is happy and then it's unhappy. It's full of peace and then it's full of chaos. It's this contrast. There's this polarity to it that, like, you can't have justice without an injustice. Like, this is what we're to expect in our human life is, the better half and then the lower half. And sometimes we get caught up in the lower half, this lower state of our 50-50 life. And, don't get caught up in the numbers. I do talk about like the 50-50 or the 80-20, or, it could even be opposite, that is 20% happy and 80% unhappy. I talk about this more in the course, but, there's this polarity that we need to expect. We need to expect that, struggles and pains and conflicts, they're going to happen. It's a part of every human life. And the difference between expecting them and then, them just happening, and then expecting them and being proactive and having tools of how to navigate them, how to process emotions, how to allow emotions, how to move past emotions. This is what is so key about this module, the searcher. I even talk about like processing anger, how to step out of a situation that is unpleasant and may be triggering some anger for you, and how to step away and what to do with that. I give you tools of what to do. And so let me show you where you go to find these. So again, I'm talking to those who have the full course and even the mini course. The introduction will be the same in both courses. You log in, go into your mini course, and this is module 3, the searcher. So you click on that. That your emotions are the energy of your life. So this is how important understanding emotions is. Like how you show up, the energy you show up to every day for your people in your life, like this is it. This is where it comes from. And your thoughts are what are driving those emotions. That's why mind work, thought work is so important. So you click on this introduction, all the feels, Again, guys, super short video teaching, 8 minutes, 17 seconds. I'm going through all the things here. I will not leave you astray. And then, of course, you have a worksheet, and the worksheet is where you put the action in your own life into play. Now, this is so, so important because we cannot move forward in our lives until we understand the emotions that we're feeling. We understand the thoughts that put them there. We take emotional responsibility. We cannot impact the world. We cannot live the lives that we want to live without understanding the emotions we most commonly feel and what we want to feel. How do we know what we want in life if we don't know what we want to feel in life? Or what we need to think in order to feel those things. And emotions drive your actions or inactions. And so we need to have such an awareness over our emotions in order to take action in our lives. So do not skip this module. Guys, the introduction modules are free to anyone. You can gain so much knowledge from these introduction modules. The whole course, is available for purchase, but these introduction modules will get you started in the right direction, and change is possible. So let's do this.